For centuries, we have sought comfort in the belief that the entire universe is fixed, objective, and independent of our perception. We trust our senses to tell us what is real, believing that the sky is blue, a rose is red, and music exists in the air. But when we look deeper, this certainty begins to dissolve. Nobel Prize-winning neurologist Sir John Eccles once made a profound statement. There exists no color in the natural world, and no sound, nothing of this kind, no textures, no patterns, no beauty, no scent. These words challenge the very foundation of how we perceive reality. What we see, hear, and feel are not qualities of the external world, but creations of our own consciousness. A rose is not inherently red. Redness arises in us. A song does not exist in the air. Its melody is born in the mind. This realization is both unsettling and exhilarating. If reality is not something we simply observe, but something we actively construct, then we are not mere bystanders in the universe. We are participants and co-creators of the very world we experience. This begs the question: if so much of what we call reality is shaped by us, what else might we have the power to transform? What hidden possibilities lie within our perception, waiting to be realized? The answers that arise are nothing short of revolutionary, not just in the realm of science, but in the depths of our own existence. The participatory universe challenges everything we thought we knew. For so long, we have seen ourselves as separate, as mere spectators in an indifferent cosmos. Science told us we were insignificant, tiny specks of dust in a vast, uncaring void. But what if that was never true? This paradigm shift suggests something far more extraordinary. We are not separate from the universe. We are the universe, looking back at itself. The galaxies swirling in the night sky, the golden hues of a sunset, the crash of ocean waves, none of these exist as we perceive them without our consciousness to bring them to life. Reality does not simply unfold before us, it unfolds through us. The lines between observer and observed, between self and cosmos, begin to blur. This is not just a scientific revelation, it is a profound spiritual awakening. If consciousness is the very foundation of reality, then every thought, every act of perception is part of the creative force shaping the universe itself. We are not passive witnesses to existence, we are co-authors of reality. And with that realization comes a deep, humbling responsibility. What kind of universe will we choose to create? Before diving into deep contemplation, let's first explore the mystery of perception, how our reality is born in awareness. Our perception of reality is perhaps the greatest illusion of all, a masterpiece painted not by the external world, but by the canvas of our own awareness. Sight, the sense we rely on most, feels effortless and direct. We open our eyes, and the world simply appears before us. But the truth is far more mysterious. Light itself is invisible. Photons, the fundamental particles of light, carry no inherent brightness, no color, no images. The vibrant hues of a sunset, the deep blues of the ocean, the golden glow of a candle, these are not properties of the world, but of us. The brain, locked in complete darkness, never sees anything. There is no screen inside our skull projecting a miniature universe. Instead, sight emerges from a symphony of electrical impulses and chemical reactions, transforming raw data into the breathtaking experience of a three-dimensional world. But here lies the deeper mystery. If no one were present to witness this transformation, would there be a visual world at all? The participatory universe suggests the answer is no. Reality, as we know it, is not simply out there, waiting to be observed. It is woven into the very act of perception. Without awareness, there is no sight, no sound, no experience of existence. This realization shakes the very foundation of how we understand the cosmos. The famous philosophical question, if a tree falls in a forest and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound, takes on new meaning. The answer, according to modern physics and spirituality, is that sound is not an inherent property of the universe. It is a product of our perception. This principle extends beyond the senses to the fundamental nature of matter itself. Quantum physics has demonstrated that particles exist in a state of potential until observed. The famous double-slit experiment reveals that electrons behave as both waves and particles, depending on whether they are observed. This suggests that the act of observation itself plays a role in determining reality. The participatory universe offers a profound insight, one that has echoed through spiritual traditions for millennia. It suggests that the reality we experience is not something separate from us, but a reflection of our own consciousness. This idea is not just a modern scientific revelation. It is a truth that sages, mystics, and philosophers have long understood. In Hinduism, the great teaching of the Upanishads declares, Tat Tvam Asi, thou art that. Brahman, the infinite, all-encompassing reality, is not something external or distant. It is the very essence of the individual self, Atman. Buddhism, too, speaks of pratitya samutpada, dependent origination, the understanding that nothing exists in isolation, but arises through an intricate web of interconnection. In the West, Hermetic philosophy whispers a similar truth. As above, so below. As within, so without. Consider a wave rising and falling in the ocean. It appears distinct, with its own shape and movement, yet it is never separate from the vast waters beneath it. So too are we. We may perceive ourselves as individuals, navigating a world that feels external and independent, but in truth, we are threads in the great cosmic tapestry, inseparable from the whole. This realization transforms how we see ourselves and our place in existence. We are not just in the universe, we are expressions of the universe. The consciousness that looks out through our eyes is not confined within the boundaries of skin and bone. It is the same awareness that pulses through all things. And if that is true, then every moment of perception is not just an act of seeing, hearing, or feeling. It is the universe knowing itself. If we truly embrace the idea that we are active participants in the unfolding of reality, everything changes. No longer are we passive observers, watching life happen to us. Instead, we become conscious creators, shaping the world with every thought, every emotion, and every intention. This isn't just poetic philosophy. It is a truth that both science and spirituality have confirmed. The placebo effect has long demonstrated how belief alone can alter physical health, healing the body without external intervention. Experiments in quantum mechanics suggest that consciousness plays a role in shaping the behavior of subatomic particles. These findings hint at a deeper reality. Consciousness is not separate from the physical world. It actively participates in its formation. When we truly recognize that reality is a participatory experience, life transforms. We are not merely drifting along in an indifferent universe. We are the artists of existence. Every thought is a brushstroke, every emotion a hue, every belief a texture. Understanding our role in a participatory universe is more than an intellectual realization. It is a transformation in how we live, perceive, and create. It calls us to step beyond passive existence and embrace the profound responsibility of conscious participation. If reality is shaped by perception, then deepening our awareness allows us to experience life in its fullest, most vibrant form. To truly grasp our participation in the cosmos, we must explore the nature of awareness itself. How does the mind shape matter? How does perception weave the world we experience? Practices like meditation, introspection, and presence help us move beyond conditioned thought and into a direct experience of reality. In stillness, we begin to see the interconnected nature of all things, not as an abstract idea, but as a lived truth. This realization naturally leads to intentional living. Our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are not passive. They ripple outward, influencing the world around us. When we align ourselves with love, compassion, and creativity, we don't just transform our own lives, we shape a more harmonious and awakened world. Recognizing our interconnectedness fosters deep empathy. The suffering of another is not separate from our own, and kindness extended outward returns to us in unseen ways. Yet, even as we seek understanding, we must remain open to the mystery of life. The universe is not a lifeless mechanism to be solved, but a living, breathing wonder to be experienced. Approaching existence with awe and curiosity deepens our connection to its beauty, reminding us that, as much as we shape reality, reality is also shaping us. This is the invitation of the participatory universe, to step fully into life, to engage with awareness, and to embrace the miracle of being both the observer and the creator. The participatory universe is not just a scientific concept, it is a spiritual revelation. It calls us to recognize that we are not separate from the cosmos but integral to its unfolding. The stars shine, the rivers flow, and the earth turns, all within the vast stage of our awareness. By embracing our role as co-creators, we open the door to a life filled with meaning, purpose, and boundless possibility. The universe is not something happening to us. It is something happening through us, as us. In every moment, we are painting the cosmos with the brushstrokes of our perception. So after knowing this profound truth, you must ask yourself the question, what kind of universe am I willing to create?